Have you ever wondered why failure seems to be a constant companion on our journey to success? From our early days of learning to walk to the complicated challenges we face as adults, failure in one form or another is an inevitable part of life. Yet for many of us, failure is viewed as something negative, something to be avoided at all costs. But let's pause for a moment and consider this. What if failure isn't the villain it's often made out to be? What if, instead of being the end of the road, failure is a stepping stone on the path to success? What if failure is an essential part of the journey, a teacher that helps us grow and evolve? In our society, we're often taught that failure is a sign of weakness or incompetence. We're conditioned to fear it, to dread its arrival, and to do everything in our power to prevent it. This mindset, however, can limit our potential and hinder our progress. When we're afraid to fail, we're less likely to take risks, to step outside of our comfort zones, and to try new things. Consequently, we may miss out on valuable opportunities for growth and development. Now imagine a different scenario. Imagine a world where failure is not seen as an obstacle, but as an opportunity to learn, to improve, and to become better. In this world, failure is not a dead end, but a detour, a redirection towards a different, potentially more fruitful path. This is not a fantasy world. This is the world of those who understand the true nature of failure. They know that failure is not a destination, but a journey that involves setbacks and disappointments, yes, but also progress and growth. They understand that failure, in its essence, is an integral part of success. And that brings us to a powerful realization. Failure, when viewed through the right lens, can become our greatest teacher. You might be surprised to learn that some of the most successful people in the world have also been the biggest failures. Let's take a moment to travel back in time. Picture a young man fired from a newspaper for lacking imagination and having no original ideas. This man was Walt Disney, the mind behind the happiest place on earth, Disneyland. Fast forward a few years, imagine a woman rejected by dozen publishers. She was told that her book about a young wizard was far too long for children. This woman is J.K. Rowling, the author of the globally beloved Harry Potter series. Now, let's visit the garage of a young inventor who was ousted from his own company, a company he started with his bare hands. That man was Steve Jobs, who later returned to Apple and transformed it into one of the world's most valuable companies. Each of these individuals, at some point in their journey, faced significant failures. They were pushed down, knocked out, and told they weren't good enough. But did they let failure define them? No. They used it as fuel to ignite their passion, to push boundaries, and to ultimately create something extraordinary. Disney once said, "All the adversity I've had in my life, all my troubles and obstacles have strengthened me. You may not realize it when it happens, but a kick in the teeth may be the best thing in the world for you." Rowling echoed a similar sentiment during a commencement speech, stating, "It is impossible to live without failing at something, unless you live so cautiously that you might as well not have lived at all, in which case you fail by default." Jobs, after his ousting from Apple, founded Next and Pixar, which led to his triumphant return to Apple. He said, "I didn't see it then, but it turned out that getting fired from Apple was the best thing that could have ever happened to me." As these stories show, failure is not a blockade but a stepping stone to success. How can we shift our perspective and start viewing failure as a tool for success? The answer lies in the framework of failure, a construct that helps us understand and utilize failure to our advantage. This framework isn't a rigid structure but a flexible mindset, a way of thinking that embraces failure as a stepping stone on the path to success. At the core of this framework is resilience, the ability to bounce back from setbacks. It's about taking those knocks and tumbles, dusting ourselves off, and getting back in the game. Resilience isn't about never falling. It's about getting back up every single time we fall. Just as important as resilience in the framework of failure is the ability to learn from our mistakes. Every failure offers a lesson, a nugget of wisdom to be gleaned. We need to get past the sting of failure and focus on the lesson it provides. Was the failure due to a lack of preparation, an oversight, a miscalculation? By dissecting our failures, we can uncover these lessons and apply them in our future endeavors. The third pillar of the framework of failure is maintaining a growth mindset. This involves seeing failure not as a dead end, but as an opportunity for growth. It's about believing that our abilities and intelligence can be developed through hard work, learning, and persistence. With a growth mindset, we see failure as a challenge to overcome, not as a verdict on our abilities. By adopting this framework, we can begin to shift our perspective on failure, to see it not as a stumbling block, but as a stepping stone. It allows us to harness failure, to learn from it, to grow from it, and ultimately, to succeed because of it. By adopting this framework, failure can turn from a dreaded foe into a valuable ally. Entrepreneurs in particular face a high risk of failure. But how does this impact their journey to success? Well, the truth is, failure is an intrinsic part of an entrepreneur's journey, often serving as the ultimate teacher. Consider this. When an entrepreneur fails, they're forced to take a step back and analyze what went wrong. Was it the business strategy, the marketing approach, the product itself? This deep introspection is a powerful tool, often leading to the development of new, more effective strategies and a refined business model. But it's not just about refining strategies and models. Failure also teaches entrepreneurs resilience. It's the determination to keep going, to get back up after being knocked down. This resilience is the backbone of every successful entrepreneur. Failure also breeds innovation. When something doesn't work, entrepreneurs are forced to think outside the box, to innovate and find new solutions to old problems. It's through this process that many groundbreaking ideas and inventions are born. And let's not forget about character building. Failure can be a humbling experience. It can teach entrepreneurs humility, patience, and the value of hard work. These are all qualities that not only make for a successful entrepreneur, but also a respected leader. Moreover, failure can also help entrepreneurs identify their true passion. When things get tough, it's passion that keeps the fire burning. It's passion that pushes entrepreneurs to persevere, even in the face of adversity. In the world of entrepreneurship, failure is not a dead end. It's a detour, a stepping stone on the road to success. So, when failure knocks on the door, successful entrepreneurs don't hide. They welcome it, learn from it, and use it as a springboard to catapult their businesses to new heights. For entrepreneurs, failure is not just a possibility, it's an opportunity for growth. So how can we start embracing failure and using it to fuel our success? Well, the first step is to reframe the experience. Instead of viewing failure as an end, see it as a stepping stone. It's a part of your journey, a chapter in your story, not the final sentence. Next, focus on the lessons learned. Each failure presents a unique learning opportunity. Ask yourself, what valuable insight can I gain from this? This shift in perspective turns every setback into a setup for a comeback. And most importantly, maintain a positive attitude. A positive mindset can make the difference between giving up and going on. Remember, it's not about how many times you fall, but how many times you get up and keep moving forward. Moreover, understand that failure is a common denominator in every success story. It's an essential part of growth and innovation. So, don't shy away from it. Embrace it, learn from it, and use it as a stepping stone to reach new heights. Embracing failure paves the way for unprecedented success. Let's take a moment to reflect on what we've discussed today. We started by acknowledging failure, this ubiquitous yet often feared phenomenon. We looked at it, not as a dead end, but as a part of the journey to success. We then delved into stories of successful entrepreneurs who had their fair share of failures, yet they managed to transform their setbacks into stepping stones. We learned that failure is not exclusive to an unlucky few. It's an integral part of the path to achievement. Moving forward, we explored the framework of failure. We discovered that it's not about avoiding failure, but about understanding it, learning from it, and using it as a catalyst for growth. We also discussed the impact of failure on entrepreneurs. We realized that while failure can be daunting, it can also be a powerful motivator, a teacher, and a beacon that guides us towards innovation and improvement. Lastly, we talked about embracing failure. We realized that failure is more than just a concept, it's a mindset. We learned that by accepting it, we can turn it into a tool that fuels our journey to success. Remember, failure is not the end of the road. It's just a stepping stone to success. Embrace it, learn from it, and let it fuel your journey to success.